Hi, my name is Sibylle Laubscher. I am an artist, painter of unique worlds that come alive when you look at them. My parents moved to the UK from Switzerland, so I grew up straddling two cultures. I studied textile design and design management in Manchester, going on to work in fashion retail. I moved to Vienna for a job in investment banking and then returned to fashion, becoming marketing director of a hosiery company. In 2003, I moved to Switzerland and set up my studio, incorporating an artisan gift shop, bed and bread and breakfast in a small village outside Basel, and started a family. I also gave conversational English lessons and ran events such as the village market. That's my business life. Being an artist always ran parallel to this. I always took art classes wherever I was. I always designed and sold greetings cards to independent retailers. I was the first living artist to draw a picture that graced 60,000 mugs for the Schönborn Palace Christmas and Easter fairs. Up till then, they had always used an archive print. I attended summer school in Edinburgh, studied fine art for 3 years at an independent art school near Basel. The school has now closed. However, I still study art philosophy privately with the school director. I have taken a plethora of online classes at the Royal Drawing School in London and will be on their online drawing year in 2024. In 2022, I gave up all other activities to focus solely on my art practice. I believe we have to stay curious, and the more I learn, the more I realize out there that I don't know. My studies in art philosophy, basically what makes a work of art, have greatly influenced my work. I have been studying this since 2013 and still find it fascinating. Philosophy considers the relationship between mankind and the world, i.e. the given. Art philosophy delves into the relationship between mankind and the becoming. We need to make the world first. The work has to become before we can discuss whether it is a work of art. I used to be a mainly figurative and representational artist. I spent 6 years painting ballerinas in a ballet school during their lessons, mainly because I didn't want to drive backwards and forwards from the classes my daughter was taking. So I asked if I could stay and draw while they worked. I used to draw 2 to 3 classes in an afternoon once a week. This was great practice in catching movement and the figure. My mentor, art philosopher and artist Martin Rabe, taught me to work in an abstract manner. We read texts by Wassily Kandinsky and Franz Marc together. With his encouragement, I started experimenting with abstraction. However, without ever leaving the natural world entirely, because we need a portal into the abstract picture. We need to be able to relate to the work, as only the known can relate. We are made of nature as well as spirit, so there needs to be some element of nature left in the picture. Now I see my work as if on a slider, and really enjoy moving from a close study of nature to abstraction and anywhere in between. Of course, I also carry out commissions. I draw a political cartoon for a local newspaper once a month, design theatre posters and stage sets, and recently designed wrappers for an artisan organic chocolate company. These things are not art because they have a clear purpose. Art does not have a purpose. It has meaning. However, they are great fun, and I love the diversity they bring to my day. My father was a hotel manager, so I travelled a lot as a child. He was always somewhere hot and sunny. This exposed me to many different cultures. I painted a mural on a disco in Kenya when I was 16. I was part of the animation staff on a cruise ship, and I visited the Hermitage in St. Petersburg as a young adult. All this greatly influenced my work and also made clear to me what I was looking for in a work of art. I look for skill in execution, beauty, something that moves me, spirit. In Vienna, I was the president of the Women's Career Network. I have become very aware of the situation of women in the arts, and much of my work references this, from my Reclaiming the Feminine series of prints to my kitchen sink paintings. My biggest influences were probably the artists working around the beginning of the 19th century. I love Cézanne, Monet, Bonnard. I saw an exhibition of Olga Wiesinger-Florian in Vienna which totally moved me. I love Kate-Kollwitz and Matisse. When people ask me why am I always sketching or always have art materials with me, I say, if you want to be a concert pianist, you always have to practice. Well, I want to reach that level of skill and artistry in painting. When I left school after my A-levels, I bought a book, Art of Our Century, from my school prize money. I still have it. I still enjoy leafing through it, reading letters artists wrote to each other. I feel artists need to be intelligent, well-informed people, educated in many fields, able to speak about art in a sensible, rational, and informed manner, because art is not purely subjective. What am I focusing on right now? Well, I've reached my middle age, and as such become very interested in what moves women at this time. I recently completed the wonderful Haggitude program set up by Dr. Sharon Blackie, a Jungian scholar, which looks at women's stories and life after the menopause. I also studied with Angharad Wine, learning how to tell a story. There are some fascinating parallels between making artwork and storytelling. I walked the Welsh part of the Wexford-Pembrokeshire Pilgrim's Way this September. I'm fascinated by stories and myth, the many layers of humanity we have brought to this world. I think we are here to appreciate this wonderful planet we have been given. My way of appreciating it is to paint it, but adding that more, that extra that did not show itself. I see the word creative as a challenge to make a unique world that is alive within itself, in the microcosmic, as the divine made the macrocosmic. I have created a series of abstract works inspired by these thoughts and activities. I will be showing them for the first time in my atelier in November this year. In addition to painting, I returned to the art of printing, having focused on printed textiles in my degree. Thanks to Corona, really, the Royal Drawing School started offering online drawing classes. I took all the courses in printmaking on offer and love experimenting in print, transforming sketches into hand-printed woodcuts. These will also be on show in November. The biggest challenge of being an artist, as Van Gogh already discovered, is sometimes to make a living from your vocation. I would love to bring people joy and enchantment with my work. I would also like to be self-sufficient. Being an artist these days is like being a small business owner. I had to learn how to build and keep my website up to date, run an online shop so you can buy my work from the comfort of your sofa, set up email marketing strategies and promote my work. Thank goodness there are some courses on setting up an art business out there, such as the Thriving Artist Business School set up by Amanda, which has been a great help in giving me a professional online appearance. I regularly apply for residencies, competitions, exhibitions. I write to opinion leaders about promoting art and artists. I spend far too long behind the computer, really. I'd much rather spend it behind the easel. What advice would I give my younger self? Well, I would tell myself to work with my vocation, my passion from a younger age, and stay true to it. I feel I wasted quite a lot of time trying to make a living doing other things, and I should have gone to art school. I studied textile design because I thought I would be more likely to get a job. Really, I'd say follow your passion, your vocation, and you'll get there. Wherever there is, of course. Making artwork was never about making something new, but always about making something better. In science, you can make something new. However, in art, it's always about building on what was always good and improving on it, drawing it towards the source from which everything comes. I use traditional painting techniques, a paintbrush or my fingers if I have happened to have forgotten my paintbrushes, oils if I'm painting in the studio, acrylics and watercolour if I'm painting somewhere else. I recently spent a whole month painting in a cafe in their storefront window, just painting what happened in front of me. It was very exposed, however a great challenge and quite exciting. I'm delighted with the resulting work. 2 of the charcoal sketches are now in the Oriel Gallery in Wales. I call this sort of painting live painting. I painted the Staatsphilharmonie Nuremberg, painting a concert recently. Nerve-wracking because the 500 people in the audience also watched me while they watched and listened to the concert. Do I listen to music or have any other types of background noise while I work? I'll let you into a secret. I find starting a new work hard because I stretch and prime all my canvases myself, so I want to do them justice. It's that frightening moment of putting a mark on a clean white space. Then I love to listen to Stephen Fry reading the Harry Potter books by J.K. Rowling. I've heard them so many times, his voice acts like a switch, taking me out of my ordinary world into my painting mode. I don't often hear what he says anymore. J.K. Rowling realized something fundamental. When you study what makes a work of art, at some point you realize that to make a good work, you need a good soul. A work is ensouled with your soul when you make it by hand. Because everything we make by hand, we ensoul in the making. Nobody is perfect. Therefore, we can't make something perfect. The perfect is dead. We need things that are alive and full of movement. Other than that, I either listen to classic FM or work in silence. The final stages of a painting are generally silent. The best reaction to my work is when somebody likes it so much they want to buy it and live with it. Because I see art as made by people, for people. I want people to enjoy my work in their day-to-day lives, for them to be able to dialogue with the work. I really hope my work gives people a feeling of joy, of enchantment, that they see something beautiful. Art is the only thing that can transform the ugly into beauty. And I believe we need art to take us out of the everyday, out of our mundane worlds into other spaces, to show us there is more than the everyday, to make sense of the chaos which surrounds us. Martin Heidegger said, "Great art gives us eyes for something we could not see before. Small art only changes the shape of what is." My goal is one day to make great art, and I guess I'm willing to die trying. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time and allowing me to share my world with you. My upcoming events are, as I mentioned, Myth, Painting and Print in my open atelier near Basel on the 25th and 26th of November from 2 to 6 p.m. Or if you're further away, I write regular art letters, which include an essay on art philosophy once a month, as well as giving you a first-time 10% discount when you buy a painting if you subscribe to that. I'm happy to come and give lectures on art philosophy and paint events such as weddings or concerts live. Just contact me via my website www.sibylle, that's SIBYLLE, LAUBSCHER.ch. Sibylle Laubscher. Thanks. Bye.